In 1984, Nike was on the verge of shutting down its entire basketball division. They were losing money, they were losing relevance, and the coolest sport in America, basketball, wanted absolutely nothing to do with them. So, Nike did something that, at the time, sounded like either genius or desperation. They put almost their entire basketball budget, $1 million a year, into a single rookie who hadn't played a single minute in the NBA. A rookie who, by the way, didn't even want to sign with them. This is the story of the biggest bet in sports history, and how a single shoe, changed business, culture, and the world forever. Let's go back to the summer of 1984. Michael Jordan had just finished his junior year at the University of North Carolina. He'd won an Olympic gold medal, he was about to be drafted third overall by the Chicago Bulls, and every major shoe company in America was circling him like sharks. Converse had Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. They were the kings of basketball footwear. Adidas was the other giant, the European powerhouse with serious credibility on the court. And then there was Nike. Nike was the odd one out. They were known for running shoes, marathon runners, track athletes. Phil Knight had built the company on the back of long-distance runners, not basketball players. Their basketball line was struggling. Their basketball shoes were, to put it gently, not cool. And in the NBA locker rooms of 1984, Nike was kind of a joke. Michael Jordan knew this. His favorite brand was Adidas. He wanted Adidas. He told his agent, David Falk, to make it happen. But here's where the story takes its first unexpected turn. Nike's leadership was sitting in a very uncomfortable place in 1984. The running boom, the craze that had made them famous in the late 70s, was dying down. Sales were slowing. The company had just laid off workers. Phil Knight, the founder, was under enormous pressure to find the next big thing. They needed a star. Not just any star, a transcendent one. Someone who could carry the entire brand on their back. So, when Michael Jordan became available in that 1984 draft, Nike's marketing team saw something. Not just a great player, they saw a personality, a charisma, a kind of electricity that they believed, if packaged correctly, could sell shoes to people who had never even picked up a basketball. Nike made a decision that felt almost reckless. They offered Jordan something no rookie had ever been offered before, his own signature shoe line, a shoe with his name on it, his own brand inside their brand. The offer was 5 years. $1 million a year, plus royalties, meaning Jordan would get a cut of every single shoe sold. To put that in perspective, the average shoe deal at the time was about $100,000. Nike was offering 10 times that, and the NBA hadn't even tipped off yet. But Michael Jordan still didn't want it. Jordan's mother, Dolores, had to practically drag him to the meeting. He was so uninterested in Nike that he almost didn't show up. It was his parents who convinced him to at least hear them out. Just go to the meeting, her mother told him. So he went, and Nike showed up ready. They didn't just present a contract, they presented a story, a brand identity, a vision of what Michael Jordan could become, not just as a player, but as an icon. They had a name picked out already, Air Jordan. They showed him the shoe designs, red and black, bold, aggressive, unlike anything the NBA had seen. And then they showed him the business side, the royalty structure, the long-term potential. David Falk, his agent, ran the numbers and realized something remarkable. If the shoes sold even moderately well, Jordan could make more from Nike than from his actual basketball contract with the Bulls. Jordan signed, but the drama wasn't over, because almost immediately the NBA tried to kill the whole thing. The original Air Jordan 1 hit the market in 1985, and the NBA hated them. The league had a rule. Every player had to wear shoes that matched their team's colors. The Air Jordans were predominantly red and black. The Chicago Bulls wore red and black, yes, but the shoes didn't meet the exact uniform standards the league required. So the NBA did something that, in hindsight, was the greatest marketing gift Nike ever received. They banned the shoes. Every single game that Michael Jordan wore Air Jordans, the NBA fined him $5,000. Every single game. Nike paid every fine, happily, because do you know what happened next? The news spread everywhere. TV, newspapers, word of mouth. The banned shoe. The shoe the NBA didn't want you to wear. The shoe they were fining Jordan for. Suddenly, every kid in America wanted a pair. Nike took out ads. The ads saw Jordan flying through the air. A voiceover said, "On October 15th, Nike created a revolutionary new basketball shoe. On October 18th, the NBA threw them out of the game. Fortunately, the NBA can't stop you from wearing them." It was a masterstroke. The ban didn't hurt Nike, it made them. The numbers that followed were almost unbelievable. Nike had projected, optimistically, that Air Jordans would sell around $3 million in their first year. The actual number? $162 million in 12 months. To put that in perspective, that's more than 50 times what they expected. The shoe didn't just sell, it created a culture. Kids were skipping school to line up outside stores. Parents were spending rent money on a pair of sneakers. The Air Jordan became a status symbol, a piece of art, a way of saying something about who you were, all wrapped up in a shoe. And Michael Jordan? He was delivering on every promise. His first NBA season, he averaged 28 points a game. He was Rookie of the Year. He was electric. Every highlight, every dunk, every impossible shot, it all connected back to the shoe on his feet. Nike's basketball division, the one that had been dying, didn't just survive. It exploded, and it dragged the entire company upward with it. But here's the part of the story that most people miss. The real genius of the Nike Jordan deal wasn't just the shoe, it was the structure of the deal. Jordan wasn't just an endorser, he was a partner. He had creative input, he had royalties, he had skin in the game, which meant he cared about the brand the way an owner cares, not the way an employee does. Nike built an entire sub-brand around him, Jordan Brand, that eventually became its own separate business inside Nike, and that business, decades later, still generates over $5 billion a year. $5 billion every year from a deal that started with a rookie who didn't even want to show up to the meeting. But there's another layer here. What Nike really did, maybe without even fully realizing it at the time, was pioneer an entirely new model for athlete endorsements. Before Jordan, athletes were walking billboards. Companies paid them to hold a product and smile. After Jordan, athletes became brands. They became equity holders. They became businesses. LeBron James, Serena Williams, Cristiano Ronaldo, every athlete today who has their own brand, their own product line, their own business empire, they are walking on a path that Michael Jordan paved, and Nike built the road. Michael Jordan retired from basketball years ago, but Jordan Brand never stopped growing. Today, the Jordan logo, that silhouette of a man flying through the air, is one of the most recognized images on the planet. It appears on shoes, on clothes, on hats, on posters in cities across 6 continents. Jordan himself earns over $100 million a year from Nike, every year, without playing a single game of basketball. He has made more money from his Nike deal than from his entire playing career combined. And Nike, they went from a struggling company with a bad basketball division to the most valuable sports brand on earth. Their current market value sits north of $30 billion. All of it, traces a line back to that bet they made in 1984 on a rookie who didn't want to be there. So, what's the lesson here? It's not just find a great athlete and give them a shoe deal. Plenty of companies have done that and failed. The real lesson is this. Nike saw something that no one else saw. Not Converse, not Adidas, not the other brands circling Jordan that summer. They saw that the future of marketing wasn't about a product at all. It was about a person, a story, an identity. They understood that people don't buy shoes, they buy who they want to become. And when you find the right person, the person who makes other people feel something, you don't just write them a check, you build a world around them. Phil Knight and his team didn't just sign Michael Jordan, they created a universe and then invited the whole world to live in it. That bet in 1984 didn't just save Nike's basketball division, it rewrote the rules of business, branding, and sports marketing forever. And it all started with a mother telling her son, "Just go to the meeting."